All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a treat for you. Papa Bear is in the house, and you're going to see him coming up next on Cliff Snow. Real estate agents, are you struggling with the day-to-day grind, dialing for dollars, putting in hours of floor time with little to show for it? Are you looking for tips, tricks, and tactics to accelerate your career as an agent that will have you closing more homes, working with more clients, and earning more money than ever before? Hi, my name's Cliff Freeman, and I've spent the past 2 decades of my real estate career running one of the top brokerages in DFW and personally coaching over 1,000 high-performing real estate professionals across North America. I created this podcast to share the strategies and tactics you need to explode your real estate business. I guarantee it. Guarantee is the word, but man, who was that cat that was on the front end of that show? That's what happens when I eat too many jalapenos at lunch. You know that? I'm telling you. Travis, my apologies that I blow the system back there.
No, you did a great job.
Well, listen,
a lot of energy.
It's as big as the guy we got on our show today, right, C3?
Totally.
I mean, how long have we known Chris for? It's been
a long time.
6 years, 7 years, something like that now, Chris. I know. And funny thing is, I had all my hair, and it was brown when I met Chris, and see what he's done to me. But Chris, you haven't aged a bit. Let's go ahead and bring him in all the way down in Melbourne, Florida, man. How are you, my brother?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me on your show today.
Man, this is going to be, first of all, it's going to be epic Hall of Fame show here. You have since you were on the show last, you have done some incredible things, and we want to hear all about it. I mean, now you're flying all over the place by yourself in your own plane, and you know, you're growing your group, and you've done so many things at EXP and your executive position there, and in charge of growth and expansion, and I can't wait to share some of the cool things that's been happening. So let's go ahead and open this up, Chris, and welcome to the show, my friend.
Awesome, thank you.
So tell us, take us a little bit back here. Last time you were on the show, I think has it been 6-7 months ago, something like that. I believe EXP was probably around, what were we, around 30,000 agents? Wasn't that right?
Yeah, right.
It
Something
sounds
like that.
right, but
Yeah.
the growth is so expansive. It's hard to know where we were just a few months ago.
It's really funny. It's, you just sit there and you hit refresh, and the numbers keep just changing all the time. It's like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you've played a really important, integral part in that whole process. And for the audience here that doesn't know you as well as we do, would you kind of just unpack a little bit about what your job is involved here in the last, you've been with EXP Corporate now for, has it been 2 years?
About 2.5 years now in the
Half.
corporate role. Yep, I've been with the company for about over 3.5 total. But I'll tell you, the position I am, and it's just phenomenal because of the support and the people I get to work with every day, right? And the growth of this company is not a one-person gig. It takes, hundreds of us every day from the corporate level showing up and making sure the systems are running, making sure that agents are getting onboarded and getting the resources that they need. But I've been honored to be the Vice President of Growth for the U.S., and just blessed to work beside some of the most talented people in this industry that wake up every morning to make sure that they can bless an agent's life. And it has just been great, Cliff.
It reminds me of our sort of mantra here, which is agent success obsessed. And you talk about the talent, and I know very well the people that you work around, Dave Kennard, and obviously Glenn and Jason and Jeff and the group. And I've honestly, I'm 62 and I've never worked with a finer group of people ever, and never seen execution of a business plan come off the way this is done. But, let's give credit where credit's due, Chris. And, you've been in the trenches. You're the one who has been responsible for really helping complete these efforts that agents have put in on attraction and bringing large groups and so forth over. I remember just in January and February of this year, and you probably got more recent numbers, but we brought over something like 30 independent brokerages to the tune of 6,500 transactions, over $2 billion in volume. And also during that time, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was 45 small teams that were doing 1.2 billion. You probably have more current numbers than that, but I mean, the numbers have just been phenomenal, haven't they?
Oh my gosh. It's it still goes back to the beginning days, right? We've all heard Glenn Sanford say this, right? Is we're not called recruiters in this company because we don't have to recruit. Other companies, the recruiting is a main, job every day, right? It's kind of what can I give you to come to the company, or how can I twist your arm, right? We all know the recruiting side of it. Where here at eXp, it's attraction. And that's because Glenn has done such an amazing job of building a real estate company that when smart, educated, business-minded people see our platform, they're attracted to it. And when you have something that's operating at that level, you can't stop the growth. And that's what we've experienced. And, Glenn is just second to none in my book here of what he's been able to do to help agents actually become professionals, to give them benefits, which we've never had before in this industry, and really step the bar up, for real estate as a whole, because now we see other companies actually starting to mirror what we've been able to do for our agents. And in my opinion, that's a win-win, because I would love, before I die, to see every agent be able to have healthcare options, to be able to have a retirement option, to be able to have 401k options. I would love to see agents able to be set up and be working towards a goal and get out of that cycle that once we stop selling real estate, we stop making money, because that's a really, really hard cycle to be in.
It is. And we talk about companies being agent centric. I mean, if you think about it, many of the big decisions made at eXp have been made by the agents. Glenn would take into consideration and have focus groups in. And anytime there was a significant change that we were contemplating or something they were going to add, the agents always had input, because we truly are not just stakeholders, but shareholders in the company. And there's a huge difference. I mean, Glenn is really, I think, and in fact, I think you're the one that told me that you guys at the board meetings, when somebody comes up with an idea, Glenn's first question is, what's the impact it's going to have on my agents, right? I mean, you talk about a guy that is...
Every decision made, is it, based upon, is this agent success obsessed? Because if you can't answer that first question, Glenn doesn't even proceed with it. I mean, it's phenomenal to be part of a company, right, that has that belief in that standard. And don't forget, Glenn was an agent. He ran a high production team, right? So he understands what we're going through. He understands being in the grind. I mean, we've all been there. I've sold homes on Christmas morning. I've sold homes on my kids' birthdays, right? I look back now and I wish I would have done things differently, because time is more important to me now than money, because time you can't buy back no matter how much money you make, right? But Glenn understands that it's the agents out here that are building all of these companies, and we're the ones that deserve to have something, right? Think about that. The
Exactly.
brokerages are worth nothing without the agents. And I can't be more grateful for eXp and what they've done for my family.
I hope Glenn doesn't mind this analogy, but a lot of times I call him the perfect bar stool because he's got three legs that are great legs. Number one, he's a tech guy. Glenn built one of the first chat rooms for AOL. Secondly, he understands financial markets. He was a stockbroker for a number of years. And finally, he was a mega agent for KW and knows the real estate a business better than anybody I've ever met. And, those three skill sets and talents that he's got were perfect for launching and growing this business. And, a lot of people don't realize the challenges and the struggles that Glenn had. He really birthed the idea back in 2008. The company came out in 2009. 2015 went public, uplisted in 2018, but just that road, a lot of people think eXp is a new company, but it's not. And there is a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went before the hockey stick hit. and really, the pivots that Glenn had to make and the things that he did strategically to make sure that this company was always going to be aligned with the agent at the top of the food chain, it's just been a great story. I keep waiting for the book to come out. I know he's going to write one soon. But speaking of books, you probably got one you could write as well by now.
Well, I love that you said hockey, right? Because to win a hockey game, right, you skate to where the puck is going to be. And
Exactly.
That's what we're doing at EXP. We're always looking 2 to 5 years ahead. We're not playing in what the market's doing today. We're not playing in what's the technology today. We're looking where's the puck going, and we're going to be there ready for the puck. And it's so cool to be part of that.
And the thing is that these big. I remember Southwestern Bell, being a legacy, phone system and stuff, and then cell phones came out. It's really hard to turn a battleship. It's hard to turn a battleship, but when you're driving a 40-foot fountain, you can turn pretty quickly. Speaking of boats, people may not realize this, but your residence with your lovely bride, Kristen, who is also an incredible real estate agent, runs your team, sells a ton of houses. And then you have your 2 beautiful children. You guys live on the coast, right? The Space Coast over in Melbourne, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're in Satellite Beach. We get to watch all the rockets go up. I mean, we love it. We live on the water. It's a life that we dreamed of, right? And we're able to live it. And that's what's so awesome. But yeah, I've got to give, all the props to my wife, Kristen, for what she does every day. I mean, for the role that she does, that's why I've been able to do this role for the past 2.5 years, because before this, we were together selling real estate. We were together running teams. And then, when I stepped out, she committed to taking that all on. And let me tell you guys, she has done it way better than I've ever been able to do it. And she's figured it out, and now I get to sit back. And I was telling her the other day, it's funny because, I'm trying to get used to now being like the one that's second, because her phone's always going off for agents or this. And I'm sitting there now like at dinner, like, hey, you're going to have dinner with me? Right. But it's so funny to understand that. And it is just amazing what she does. And just her intelligence is brilliant. So we are so excited about what we're doing.
Yeah, well, tell us a little bit about your plans down there. What have you got in the works? I guess the cat's kind of out of the bag here. We talked about your illustrious past here with EXP, but your future is going to be a little bit different here, and you've really got some big plans down there in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's always been our really vision to impact as many people as we can. And, I tell this story. I don't know if you guys have heard this before, but when my wife and I attended the first eXpCon in 2017, and, Cliff, you remember Glenn Bill, our good friend, came to that one with us. And there was about 500 agents there in the room. I remember this, right? And my wife and I were standing in the back of the room, and we said, imagine one day if we could impact this many lives. And we were looking at the 500 people, and it felt so distant. It felt like just a big dream, like to be able to have a reach to impact that many lives. And, as we're growing now, our group is very, very close. We're going to be announcing it here soon, but we are almost double that now in just our organization of what we've been able to build in these past 3.5 years. And we're coming out really strong June 1st. I'm stepping out of the vice president role. We've hired 3 amazing people now that are regional vice presidents with extremely strong backgrounds. When you meet these people, you're going to be blown away. I remember the first time I got to meet them, and I was like, what am I doing in this position? Because you guys come with so much more experience and knowledge, and I'm excited about where the company's trajectory is going to be going. But my wife and I are teaming back up. We are super excited. We're going to be leading our group full time now. We have a high production sales team here in the Melbourne Satellite Beach area that we're about to ramp up with some great, lead referral programs that we have in place. And we're just excited. We're excited to help agents because that's what it's about. And it's not just about making money. That's what we really try to help agents with. It's about living a balanced life. You can have all the money in the world, but if you're not happy, what good is the money, right? So it's about being, family oriented. It's about being driven for the success that you're trying to achieve. And success can be in all different forms. So we have a grand opening of our new office this Saturday. I wish you guys were here. You could come just spend time with us. You could always hop on a plane. You've got time. And what's so cool is my wife has partnered with the Brevard County Animal Shelter. And we're going to be doing donations for the animals. And they're actually bringing dogs to our event that are going to be able to be adopted. So that's what really drives my wife, is that passion of being able to help animals. She loves animals. And we're so excited that we're able to partner this together.
I'm booking the flight right now. What time do I need to be there?
I think that's awesome that you all are bringing that part of what Kristen wants to do into that event. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, you guys.
I want to touch on this for a second too. Some people ask, like, why the office? So I'll say it, right? Because eXp is a cloud brokerage, right? I get that, and we are. And for a majority of the part, an office isn't really needed much more today. We know that, right? I mean, productive agents aren't sitting in an office. The first rule that I learned when I became an agent was stay out of the office, because I didn't want to become like those agents. And I say that very blunt, and I hope I don't offend anybody on this show that's watching, but the agents that are sitting in the office, I can basically tell you what your success habits are every day and how much money you're going to make every year. And it's the same cycle. And the agents that are out of the office, right, with their daily success habits, generating leads, they're out there selling real estate, they don't come to the office. The only time I came to the office was to deposit checks, right, because I had to. It's how I got paid. Here's the checks. Then I had to wait 3 or 4 days for them to put it in their account. Then they wrote me another check. Who's happy that eXp pays you same day? It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, for sure. Crazy,
we
huh?
don't have to wait for the money that we're making.
God, you look at the way that the old school brokerages used to run, and I mean, it just really, it blows you away. This is you touched on something earlier, and I want to get back to where you are now. But the thing that I just wanted to lay out here was I looked at somebody yesterday on a call, and I said, it just came out. I just said, this is a company built by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. And I mean, when you think about it, I couldn't think of a more elegant way to describe what this company's all about. Yeah. You can hop on this platform and grow to anything that your mind can conceive of in real estate. And there are no barriers. It's like the world's biggest hockey rink, is all yours now. And you don't have to, go get ice time and stuff like that. I mean, it's just, and I'm not even a hockey guy, but you know what I'm saying?
It's, I hear you.
We're using hockey all day here.
Hockey, right.
I completely.
Yeah, skate to the puck. Yeah,
I get that and understand it. And that's what we're excited. I was saying about the office, right? And sometimes there's a need for it. We decided to do an actual physical location. We've got 3,000 square feet of amazing office space for agents to be able to come do what they need to do. But what I'm excited about is starting June 1st, we're going to become the #1 training, right? #1 training company in my local market. We have a training room that fits 30 to 40 agents. I don't care what company you're with. That doesn't matter to me. If you come, show up ready to learn something, you bring some grit with you, and you want to get to the next level, you're welcome here. And I'm so excited about being able to lead that. I'm going to be leading all the training programs here for the team now and for the area. And I'm excited, Cliff, and C3, that's what I do. I love to train and help people understand. It's a formula, right, for winning success. It's not luck.
No, it's amazing, and you're incredible. I've been on stage with you before. I've seen you train and coach, and in fact, that's how we met in that kind of a situation 7 years ago, I believe, whenever it was. And you just have a heart for education, and that's really what it's all about. I mean, I don't care how long. I've been in real estate 33 years. And every day, every transaction's different. You're going to learn something new every day. The technology changes. The prospecting, the things we do to get in front of people. The market. Look at what the market's doing right now. It's just, the first time ever. 30% of all the money in this country right now was printed, in the last 5 months. It's just unbelievable the things that you have to know about the market and about housing and things like that. We're not just collecting tickets and tolls in the toll booth when people buy and sell a house. I mean, it's
wait. This isn't HGTV.
Hold on, wait. Yeah,
No.
Yeah, we really need to have some of those folks on our in our program here to. But a lot of people, hey, I can't knock HGTV because a lot of people get into real estate, because they saw that. Now the reality show, that's something that we'll have to do sometime. Chris is do a reality show for
we
people.
We should start a reality show. Come on.
I believe it. Listen, tell me about it. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be really cool. So okay, we talk about you that's a huge, ambitious project. Your wife involved in the business. You got the 2 kids, your plane, your boat, everything else. Chris, how do you keep this work-life balance thing going on? What is it what's the secret sauce here? That's a
Understand
journal?
what you're doing in the day. Yeah, absolutely. It's a productivity journal. I have to, have my day planned out for me. If I don't, I'm all over the place, right? I mean, I have people calling me for this opportunity or this, and it can get real bad real fast. So this is what keeps me on track, and I hope everybody does some, sort of this. But I mean, it breaks it down for the actual day. So, I know, what's my top 3 priorities for the day, my big goals that I need to accomplish. And then in the morning, there's 3 things that I'm going to do, afternoon 3 things, and evening 3 things. And that comes from work, exercise, family. And I don't always hit all, 9 of those things in a day, right? But what's cool is when you go through and you hit 6 or 7 of them, and then you can reflect on the day. And you can really start figuring out what makes you feel, fulfilled at the end of the day rather than feel empty, because there's a lot of people that go around and they do a lot of things, okay, but at the end of the day they feel a lot of emptiness. Where there's people that have learned what fulfills them can go out and do a few things in a day and feel very fulfilled at the end of the day. So I put this on Facebook the other day, guys. I don't know if you saw it, and I'm really trying to dial in on this. But I really started asking myself, in this transition of stepping out of one role, right? Which some people have told me, you're crazy for stepping out of that job, right? I mean, this is a great position to be in. This is strong 6 figures a year, right? Like, what are you doing? Benefits, right? And it gets back to that entrepreneur mindset. Glenn Sanford did an article on that about being an entrepreneur, right? And if you're not an entrepreneur, you're always working with a ceiling, right? And it's so true. And I am an entrepreneur. I was born an entrepreneur, and I'm glad that I've been able to help the company scale in the past 2.5 years. But now Chris Bear has to come out, right, and live my purpose and my passion. And so I've really been thinking about that. It's, as you get older, you start thinking about different things. So now I'm starting to think of, when I'm old and I can't go out here and make as much happen, what do I want to be remembered for? I'm going to die. Spoiler alert here, everybody's going to die. Everyone watching this show, I can guarantee you that, right? We have a limited amount of time here on Earth. So what are people going to say about you? What are you going to be remembered as? And what I've really learned is most people in life are doing one of 2 things. They're either running from who they were, or they're chasing who they want to be. Now, both of these take equal efforts, but only one produces positive results. But to be able to chase who you want to be, what do you have to do? You have to have a very clear picture of what that looks like. And that comes back, a lot of people say, well, I've got to know my why. You got to find out your why. Well, it's easier said than done, right? There's a lot of things that can say why. A lot of people, I want to make more money. That's my why. Well, that's a very empty why at the end of the day. That won't keep you going. But when you really figure out the person you want to be remembered as, the legacy you want to leave, it's so much easier to be chasing that, and you stop running from who you don't want to be anymore. And it changes the mindset completely. So I'm really excited about this year, about digging deeper into that. Cliff, I loved you said about writing a book. That is on my list this year to start, and it probably will be on the basis of what we just spoke about. But I'm excited about what we're doing in the next 6 months. And you've got to be excited. Some people just show up in a routine. Routine doesn't get you anywhere. Excitement. To wake up, today's the day I'm going to conquer. These are the things I'm doing, and this is why. And the people that I've met these past 2.5 years, millionaires and billionaires, I never thought in my life that I would have billionaires on speed dial. I've learned one thing that all of these successful people have in common. It's one habit that every single one, they do every single day. And it's called consistency. Consistency. And that means they're disciplined to do the things they know they need to do every day, consistent, and they don't let the outside factors of life stop them from doing it. And we see that all the time in real estate agents. I think sometimes I see it the most. Oh, I got sick today. I couldn't make calls. Oh, the kid got sick. Oh, I had to go to a closing. And because I went to a closing, I couldn't do anything more for the day. I mean, I know you guys, it's hard, right? Right, guys? Remember that? It's hard sitting at a closing for an hour and a half watching someone sell, sign papers. But then you're going to, post that you're out celebrating. But the consistency stopped because a closing happened, where really a closing is just one part of the day. It's not the entire day. So it's reprogramming our thoughts. And I just went to lunch the other day with an agent, really good friend of mine, and he's been doing real estate for several years now. And he said, Chris, I just feel like I'm in this cycle where I make money, then I don't. I make money, then I don't. And I call it's the 90-day happy and then bankrupt, right? That agents go through. Happy, bankrupt, happy, bankrupt. And we really started diving into what the day looked like. And what it comes down to, again, is the lack of consistency of what you're doing every day. And once you learn to be consistent in the daily success habits and the money-making activities, you'll be able to have more time to spend with your family and friends and make more money than you ever thought you were than right now, just going out there running crazy, working on marketing plans for the past 5 months that you still haven't put into action because it's going to change everything for your business.
Wow. Do you want to ask him about what's behind him there?
I want to see if you'll drop the link to that journal in the comments, or just let me know the name of it.
Yeah, it's the Explorer.
Explorer.
You can look it up. Yeah, they sell it right on Amazon.
Yeah.
It comes with an app too. You just take a screenshot every day, and it actually gives you your results. So you can look for the past month, 6 months, year, and see how many of your goals you actually hit. I mean, it's awesome. I'm really big into to tracking, not just business, but my life. We say, if you failed to plan, right, you plan to fail. That's not just business, that's life as well. If we want to have a successful marriage and a fulfilling marriage, guess what? We have to be planning for that and working on it. It doesn't just happen. If we want to be good parents, right, we have to be planning to be good parents. And how are we showing up and what are we doing? If we want to be successful in business, we have to have a plan for business. And that's where I'm really excited about starting to work with people about just getting these simple, I think they're simple. There's just these simple changes in limiting belief systems out of people's minds. And I tell you all the time, if Chris Bear can do this, anybody can do this. Trust me. So, Cliff, you asked about this picture. Is it okay if I tell you about, because it means a lot to me.
Yeah, is that Michael Jordan back there, or who's that guy in the red?
Yeah, this is Michael Jordan. That's why I've got red on today. A little bit about my upbringing. Michael Jordan played a huge role in my life as a kid. I really looked at him as a role model. Of kind of how he was raised, came up. I was going to be Michael Jordan. You guys all remember when you were a kid, you could be anything, right? Anything. It didn't matter what it is. You believed that you could be it. And I believed I was going to be Michael Jordan. But then I grew up short, slow. I can't jump. I can't shoot 3-pointers, right? So it didn't work out for me. So I got into real estate. but to go back to that mindset as a kid, to have belief, right? We lose that because life really beats it out of us, right? And then we get into just the system of where we think we need to fall in to what other people think, our life should be or what it should look like. So this picture, this is actually Michael Jordan's last shot. This was the last shot he ever took in the NBA, okay? And there's 6 seconds on the clock. And I love it how it's broken up into 3 sections. And because every day I walk into my office, I look at this, and it's a reminder of what I have to accomplish every day, right? So the first thing is every day I wake up like it's my last shot, right? We're not guaranteed tomorrow. So I got to wake up. Today's my last shot. There's 6.6 seconds on the clock. What am I doing today? What am I going to accomplish, right? And then I got to look at all the distractions, right? We see over here, you got the audience, you got defenders here. Over here, there's more, they got their freaking banners up, right? They're trying to get MJ to miss, right? That's their job. So I love how this is all black and white. The only thing in color is Michael Jordan and the ball. Okay, it's the only thing in color on this whole picture. So I've got to get rid of the distractors, and I got to focus on what's important, which is that goal right there in the middle. And then when you're reaching for that goal there, now you've got the defenders that are right here in your face, right? They're the ones that can stop you. These people can't stop me. They're too far away. There's nothing they can do. So I just got to take it and get it out of my vision completely. That's why it's separated. Now in the middle, I've got to look at the goal and know the only thing I have to worry about is what's in color here, right? Is me and the goal. The rest of everything else, I have to just block out. It doesn't exist, and I have to stay on track. And I'm telling you, every day I come in here and I take just a couple minutes, I look at this. And I say, okay, this is my game plan for the day. One of my really, really good mentors is Sheriff Wayne Ivey. He's a national figure. You can see him on CNN News. He's all over the place. This guy is probably one of the best leaders that I've ever seen in our nation. But he's been a mentor of mine since I was 22 years old. And what he taught me was, and I'll never forget the words he said, son, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter how far ahead you are in life, or by how many you're winning by, right? You always play life like it's the 4th quarter with 2 minutes on the clock and you're 10 points down.
Wow.
And since I was 22, that's what I've been doing now. And it's phenomenal to have these people in your life. Another great mentor of mine is Chris Register. And man, Chris, I hope you see this. I love you, buddy. He wrote this book. If you haven't read this book, look it up. You can get it on Amazon. It's The Navigator. And it really talks about the mindset and breaking that mindset that we have to get into the system that life wants us in, right? We're all created for a purpose. We're all created for different things, okay? It's just so many of us fall into what we call the system of what we think we're supposed to do, not what we want to do or what we're called to do.
Particularly true of realtors, right? Everybody has this sort of image of what a realtor should be, especially like you said with HGTV, which is the biggest. Oh man, it's.
Hey, and I love HGTV. Look, Tark is a friend of mine. I love Tark, man, and that guy's the real deal. I'll tell you that right now. That guy is phenomenal, right? But on TV shows, they just make it look easy, right? Because they have to. It's a TV show. Someone calls, you show a house, they get it, and it's done. And people are like, oh, that's what I want to do. I want to be in real estate. Because they drive Mercedes and they drive BMWs, right? Everybody sees success and wants it. But what they don't see is what's behind the success every day. What was years before that of the failures, right? And the 13, 14, 15-hour days, the missing holidays, the birthdays. But then when they start to learn, wait a minute, wait. You're telling me I can't party on the weekends? I don't want it that bad.
It's so funny. I just had this vision of a show I saw. I think there was a couple buying a house. She was a librarian, and I think he was a social worker, and their budget was like $4.3 million for a house. I mean, that stuff never happens, right? Never happens. Interesting. All right, so. I want to, because we're kind of approaching the end of the show here. Can you believe that? I'd say it again, but
hey, I'm just getting warmed up.
I know. We need to book you for 2 shows next time. Just in deference to our audience here, because we love, and you've poured a lot of value already, the Navigator book and other great tips that you've shared with us. Chris, if you were in this, considering, let's rewind 15 years, 20 years, and you were looking at getting into this business, what would you do different this time than you did when you started?
Wow, that's that's a great question. I'll tell you one thing that I wouldn't do different is I had a huge why. Um, before I was in real estate, you guys know I was in law enforcement for 13 years. I worked undercover, for 4 years chasing violent felons around the U.S. But I got into real estate because I needed money. Okay, I needed money. But it wasn't the money that motivated me. It was the reason why I needed the money. And that's because my daughter was born with some medical issues and I needed money. And I was her dad, right? I was her dad that had to take care of her. So that was my why. I had a huge why. And I truly believe that's why I was so successful when I came out. It's because I got that license, and it wasn't just a license to sell real estate. It was a license for me to be the dad I needed to be for my daughter. And that changed everything. And there was nothing that was going to stop me. It couldn't. And that was my mindset, and it didn't. I was the guy holding my own signs on street corners with a hat on and sunglasses so people wouldn't know it was me on the sign. Okay. I did whatever I had to do to be out there, to be a lead generator. So I'd say if you're getting into this, figure out why you're getting into it, first of all, right? Just figure that out. What's going to wake you up and motivate you to go do things you don't want to do? Right? Think about that. Really think about it, right? What's going to force you enough to go do something you don't want to do? And then I tell people, be in a place and surrounded with like-minded people of where you want to be. So I told you I met with an agent the other day, my good buddy, and we were talking about that. And he was telling me where he wants to be. And this guy's phenomenal. He wants to be a coach, a trainer, and he's got all the skill sets. But the problem is he's lacking the people in his life right now that are already at that level that can reach down, take his hand, and help him achieve his goals, right? We're not out here alone to do anything. And Cliff, you've been one of my biggest supporters in that. I mean, I am so grateful. Kristen and I, every night, thank God for you. C3, same with your support of what we've been able to do. But if it wasn't for you in our life, Cliff, we might have taken a completely different trajectory, right? But instead, your hand came down and you said, hey, grab my hand, I got you. And we didn't have to make all the mistakes, right? You helped us pass those mistakes. So be with like-minded people, and that can be anywhere. That could be at any company. Just figure it out. But if you're somewhere where you're not getting that, you've got to ask yourself, why are you there?
And I will just say here, it is not natural for people to ask for help. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's hard for some people
For sure.
to be humble and ask for help because
So
we're
that's
not
one of
taught
the things
that
I actually
thing.
coach in my sell 33 plus homes a year is, your RAS, which is your reticular activation system. I did a lot of study on that to actually understand how to get referrals, how to get repeat business. And the first step is you have to ask for help. And we script it and we go through it, but you are correct. It's not normal for someone to want to, ask for help. They almost feel like, well, that's demeaning or that's showing weakness. And it's not.
Yeah.
Human race wants to help each other. Yeah, like
That's
God's
right.
given us. It's embedded in us. And all we have to do is ask for it. And when you ask for help, let me tell you something. Things change. Because that person you were just speaking to, it might be 3 months, 6 months. They will find someone that's looking to buy or sell a house because everybody has those in their network. And because you ask the right way, that reticular activation system, you're going to be the first thing that pops into their mind. And you're going to be the one getting the call for that.
Right. Ego has no place. Hungry, humble, and smart is the perfect team member, right?
I love it. That's so true.
Yeah. Excellent. Wow. Well, Chris, I am, man, it's just, I feel like, with COVID and everything, I've been to Orlando and we've crossed paths, but we haven't spent nearly as much time together in the past year as we like to do. And it's so great to just spend some time with you, not on a Zoom call working and stuff, but just to introduce you back to our audience here and just pause. And I want to thank you for all of the things that you've done in your time here at corporate at EXP. You have absolutely been a selfless leader who put everybody else before you and even your family. And I know it's been tough on Kristen and your family. You guys moved to North Carolina, moved back. I mean, people don't really understand what you've been through, but I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, from all 55,000 agents at EXP, many of whom have had direct contact with you, and you're responsible for a lot of them being over here. And you know who I'm talking about. And I just I thank God for you every day, and I'm excited about this new chapter in your life, and I want to be here with you to help build whatever your mind and imagination can dream up, because you are one cat that I know that can get it done. So man, let's go out and, as C3 and I like to say, go put a bigger dent in the universe.
I love it. Well, we're on a race to help 10,000 lives right now, my wife and I. That's our number on this journey right now. We're coming out and we're on a race to get 10,000 people in our organization that we can help get to achieve their goals, their dreams, and their desires.
That's awesome. Chris, what's the best way for somebody to get a hold of you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of old school. Facebook's where I live still. I don't have any other stuff, just Christian Bear on Facebook. You can always email me. I love my email. It's a dolifefulltime@gmail.com. It's a dolifefulltime@gmail.com. So many people work full time, right? Waiting to do life, and they don't make it. I've had too many friends die way too young, right? And so my wife and I were changing that mindset with people, and we're doing life full time now while we're alive.
That's great. Don't live to work. You got to work to live, right? I mean, that's the whole idea. People got it backwards. So, hey, brother, it's so great to see you. We're going to say adios from the great state of Texas to Florida there, Melbourne, Florida, Chris and his family. So great to see you again. And Travis, what a uplifting experience it was to walk in the doors here again today and see your smiling face. And, you know, you're very generous with your time, and we just really appreciate what you do for us here too. And C3, we got some big things going ahead of us, man. We're headed to Vegas, then I'm off to Denver, and then we got Tony Robbins coming up August 17th through the 19th. God is good, man. That's all I can tell you.
All the time.
All the time. That's it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today on Cliff's Notes. We love each and every one of you. Please come back next week. Alex Piak is going to be here, one of my dear friends here in Dallas, and you're going to find out about what he's doing to crush it and hear about his new book coming up next week on Cliff's Notes. All right, folks, tune in to Cliff's Notes every Thursday at 1 o'clock Central for the tips, tricks, and tactics to explode your business. I guarantee it!